Yeah, then, because they're personal cars, aren't they?
Yeah, because they're in public.
Well, they're not in public at the moment.
Who are you?
I'm a police officer.
Alright.
You want to see my ID?
Yeah, I would really expect you to show it to me. Yeah.
There you go. Detective Sergeant Jamie Wiseman.
DS, yeah.
Okay.
And any detective work to be getting on with, or?
Well, no, I'm due to be
more
going
worried about. Alright, then go home then.
No, I'm more worried about you filming people's private cars. Police officers get a bit jumpy about that.
Why?
Why? Because people don't like us.
Okay, well, I'm not.
Against police officers, and you're filming our personal cars when we come out.
But I don't.
That makes me very jumpy.
Why are you? What are you jumpy about?
Well, my personal details going out on social media or something like that.
So you're just assuming that it's going to go on social media. Do you know any of this? Like, you're just assuming.
No, I'm asking you.
Because this is what I'm choosing to do with my time today.
Yeah, but why are you doing that? Did you say you're not interested in people's private plate?
No, I'm not.
You're recording when they come out of there.
What can I do with someone's private plate? Only yourselves in the DVLA can pull that info.
I've got no idea.
Okay, well, rest assured, I'm not interested.
It makes me feel very uncomfortable.
The sergeant comes out looking unsettled from the start, and that becomes the problem. Instead of dealing with what is actually happening, he focuses on what might happen and lets fear guide his decisions. He complains that Coley is filming number plates, as though they are secret information, even though registration plates are publicly visible by design. The moment he admits, "I don't know, but it makes me feel uncomfortable," he reveals the mindset behind the whole encounter. His policing based on feelings rather than evidence or the law. Coley didn't create that discomfort. The sergeant created it himself by confusing personal anxiety with professional duty.
Stations at all?
Is it your business?
Yeah, it is. I'm asking you now, yeah. Because if you're going around filming all the police stations, that makes me feel very uneasy.
Right.
And
so what are you trying to do?
To investigate that.
Okay, what do you want to investigate?
Why you are filming Hampshire police stations. Is my conversation not clear? Are you not clear on what I'm saying?
This is a camera, mate. I've given you assurances that I'm not here for any trouble.
Have I explained that? Have you not registered that?
I don't even think you are on edge. There's 3 of you. I've got a camera, like, you guys are armed, like, why would you be on edge? Should I not be the one that's on edge?
When we're coming out in personal vehicles.
Yeah, but what can I possibly do with your personal vehicle?
You tell me.
Then you should maybe consider taking the bus to work or something. I don't really understand.
Why should myself and my colleagues or our way of getting to work?
Because you're so concerned about security arrangements and whatnot. So if it's such a security risk...
I'll tell you why, because police officers get attacked on and off duty.
Right.
That's what makes me nervous.
Okay.
And they do that because people share our private information and track us down to where we live with our families. That makes me nervous.
This is where the excuses become hard to take seriously. When Coley says, "If you're that worried, take the bus," the officer responds, "Why should me and my colleagues go out of our way to get to work?" That misses the point entirely. He's the one claiming there's a security risk, not Coley. You can't park your personal car in public, wear a police uniform, and then complain about being seen. That's not a security threat, it's hypocrisy. The sergeant then claims officers are attacked because people share their private information, but that's not what is happening here. Coley isn't exposing home addresses or personal details. He's simply filming from a lawful public place.
Have there been any cases of someone filming private plates and then going on to attack police officers? Well, if you don't have any idea, then you can't be making those assumptions. Like.
Well, I can.
Well, no, you just said I have no idea. Like, you're a detective, mate.
I work in this industry, in the security industry, and I know police officers have been followed home. I know police officers' vehicles have been targeted.
Okay, well, I'm telling you that I'm not interested in harming any police officer.
I don't know that, do I?
All right, well then, what are we gonna? How are we gonna proceed then?
Well, I'd like you to go if possible.
So is that gonna what does that achieve? Like, I'm not gonna go.
Well, it makes me feel better. I don't understand why you want to put me on this edge.
You haven't given a good reason for doing it.
I don't need a reason though. What I'm doing is lawful.
I'm not saying it's not lawful.
Okay, so why would I need a reason?
It's just like my colleague is explaining it.
Do I have to account for my actions in a public place, doing something legal? You can find it strange. It's not illegal if it's strange. Like,
is there anything you need to report to us today?
No.
Is that the reason why you're here?
No.
No? Why are you here though?
To film.
Why to film?
Because this is what I want to do.
Filming?
The sergeant isn't even hiding the fact that his policing based on emotions. When Coley calmly asks, "How can we move forward?" the sergeant says, "I'd like you to leave if possible." When Coley asks what that would achieve, the answer is astonishing: "It would make me feel better." That's not law enforcement, that's feelings enforcement. Everything revolves around the sergeant's emotions. He says it makes him uncomfortable, puts him on edge, and would make him feel better. Since when is the public responsible for protecting an officer's personal comfort? The police are supposed to serve the public, not the other way around.
Other members of the public that see you doing this, and obviously police officers and police staff coming out of here, be on edge. Why does he film me? Okay.
Because we're in public. You guys have got cameras everywhere. Like you're filming.
And there's
like,
CCTV all the way around.
Of course there is, exactly. So what? I don't know why we've got such a front about
Do you not think
filming.
that the police station could be a security risk?
Is it not a secure building? Like
That wasn't my question. Do you concede that people may want to target a police station?
no,
You don't concede
because it's not. I don't think it's a valuable target. I don't know what sort of people you're referring to. I don't think this is a valuable target for a terrorist. Has a police station ever been attacked
that? Yeah, I believe
by a
that they
terrorist?
have.
Has they?
Yeah, London
Which
police
one?
stations have been attacked quite regularly.
I don't think they have.
Okay.
Well, name one then.
So, yeah.
So you can't name them, but you're saying that it's happening. Well, which one then?
I can tell you, but I won't.
What?
I can tell you, but I won't.
You can tell me, but you won't.
Yeah.
All right, that's a bit odd. I don't know why.
You're not given a reason for being here.
When Coley challenges the claim that police stations are security targets, the sergeant confidently says they are attacked regularly. That's simply not true. There have been isolated incidents, mostly decades ago or connected to the troubles in Northern Ireland, but nothing that supports the word regularly. Modern terror attacks have mainly targeted crowded places and transport hubs, not ordinary police stations. Then another officer adds, "I can tell you, but I won't," sounding more like a child trying to win an argument than a professional officer. Their attitude shows they weren't interested in having an honest discussion. They just wanted the last word.
Genuine security risk, and this genuinely posed a threat. I wouldn't be irresponsible and come and do this. Believe me. And if this was behaviour that I knew that terrorists engaged in,
But it is.
I would have.
They
No,
film
it's
targets.
what, overtly
Well, they might
with
do.
this little crappy
How do
little
I know
gimbal.
you're not a terrorist? How do I know that? How do I know that?
You don't know that, but you have to go
Exactly
based
right.
on what you do know. There needs to be an objective
Yeah, so
basis.
What I do know is I've got a man who's not willing to give his details stood in front of me who's filming police stations.
Okay.
So that's what I do know. That's the facts.
Okay.
Is it not?
So me filming does not implicate me as any sort of like prospective terrorist
But it
or otherwise.
raises my suspicion.
Well, you can be suspicious all you want. Like it's not a crime. You suspecting me of doing something is not a crime. You need to have some sort of reasonable suspicion or objective basis to suspect me as a terrorist.
No. Well, at the moment, I think you are filming a police station.
Yeah.
With no reason to do that. You are refusing to give your details. I have no idea where that information's going, and I know you have filmed other Hampshire police stations.
This moment shows how badly the sergeant's reasoning has fallen apart. When Coley says that if he had known filming was considered terrorist behaviour, he wouldn't have done it, the sergeant replies, "How do I know you're not a terrorist?" That is absurd. Policing cannot be based on guessing what someone might be. As Coley points out, officers must act on what they actually know. Section 43 of the Terrorism Act requires objective grounds, not fear or imagination. Yet the sergeant keeps insisting that filming for no obvious reason and refusing to answer questions are suspicious. But filming in public is perfectly legal, and refusing to give details is not an offence. He's creating suspicion where none exists and dressing up feelings as counter-terrorism.
Search. Section 44. 43, is it? I think we can do that. I think we can do that.
Sure you want to do that? I don't think you got grounds for a section 43 search.
Well, I'm telling you, I think I do. Okay, so
Well, it's not about thinking. This is objective. It's not an opinion,
Okay,
is it?
okay, look.
The legislation is black and white. It's not I think.
you can have this conversation with the solicitor afterwards, and they can come after me at a later date. That's absolutely fine. Okay, that's your right.
So you're going to abuse my rights now, yeah?
Okay, no, I'm not. I'm going to use our powers. So what I'm saying, I find your behaviour very suspicious.
Okay.
You are filming not just this police station in Hampshire, but other police stations in Hampshire. You can give me no legal,
Listen to what you're saying, Hampshire.
there's no legal reason why you are doing
Okay.
that, other than because you want to.
Yeah,
You are
that's- I
refusing
don't need
your
a reason.
details, so we can't even verify who you are or what you are doing it for. Therefore,
I'm not obliged to
I
give
consider
details.
that to be quite a big terrorist risk. Okay, so you are now detained for this search.
This exchange perfectly shows what happens when authority replaces understanding. When Coley says, "I don't think you have grounds," the sergeant replies, "I think I do." Those 4 words reveal the problem. He's relying on personal belief rather than legal standards. Section 43 isn't about what an officer thinks might be suspicious. It requires clear and objective reasons that can be explained and justified. Coley is right when he says it isn't about opinions. Using terrorism powers is one of the most serious actions an officer can take, and it requires facts, not gut feelings.
We're going to search you now in order to see if there is anything that needs to raise that suspicion even further.
What items? Who's conducting the search firstly?
These two are going to conduct the search.
But you've just launched with it. So what are these officers going to be searching for?
Anything related to terrorism.
Such as what? That's a bit abstract, isn't it? Any sort of specific items?
Not at the moment.
So you're searching for my ID?
Well, no, and anything relating to terrorism. So if all of a sudden we find ID and that says actually this bloke's okay, there's nothing to worry about.
I am okay. I've told you I'm okay.
Yeah, I know you've told me, but I don't know that. Or it might say he's on a terrorist watch list, and then we've got something to worry about, haven't we? So
you're not going to find my info though.
That's fine, but they're going to search you for that purpose.
This power doesn't. I don't have to provide my information in this power.
No, I'm not asking you to provide anything.
But you just said you're hoping to find ID, this and that. Like,
yeah, if they find it, we'll look at it.
You know, you can be sued in a civil court.
That's absolutely fine. You can go down that route. I haven't got a problem with that.
You sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
All right.
This is a perfect example of how not to use police powers. When Coley asks what they're searching for, the sergeant answers, anything related to terrorism. That response says everything. Section 43 requires reasonable suspicion that someone possesses articles linked to terrorism. It doesn't allow officers to go on a fishing expedition. If an officer can't clearly explain what they're looking for, the search becomes difficult to justify. When Coley reminds him that the law doesn't require him to provide ID, the sergeant simply shrugs when warned about being sued. He seems confident that the badge will protect him.
Outcome of the search was negative, so why am I still detained? If you've completed the search...
At the moment we're trying to identify who you are.
I know, but you've just detained me for the purposes of a search, not to find out my identity. So now, as I'm further detained, this is becoming more and more unlawful, because now you're detaining me to find out my name. Like, that wasn't the object of the search, was it? You've done the search, it's come back negative. I know, but you're the one that's launched with the power, so I feel like you're the one...
The officer said you was trying to find out your identity.
Yeah, but that wasn't the purpose of the search.
Okay,
Section 43 doesn't require me to give my details.
Is that what you're saying? Do you want to go?
Yes.
All right, then.
Can I get a copy of the search slip, please?
Yeah, 2 seconds.
Have you been arrested before?
Don't worry, in due time, you'll find out everything you need to know.
Okay. I'll wait in due time and then I'll know who you are, won't I?
Oh, well, I can't go.
Is he recording cars as they're coming out there?
Yeah, it is.
Let's take his phone off him and let's seize it. Evidence.
Evidence of what?
Hey?
Evidence
it's a
of
security
what?
breach, buddy, okay? I'm not having you phone in my car.
Whoa.
The video ends with a shocking incident. While Coley waits calmly for his search record, an off-duty officer rushes over shouting, "Security breach," before grabbing the camera and switching it off. Coley later explains that the force appears to be making it difficult for him to take the matter any further.
Okay, so now I will talk you through said developments in chronological order as best I can. If you need to pause the video at any point to digest what's going on, then feel free to do so. Naturally, the first step was to file a complaint, which you will now see on the screen. The complaint explained in great detail the events that occurred outside Southampton Police Station and my dismay with the treatment that I had received. Following my complaint, I was quickly emailed by a sergeant prompting me to come to the station to collect my phone. You guys are already aware of that. Following this, the next step was to make a subject access request in order to gain access to the body-worn footage that was compiled on me at the time of the search. I was then contacted by a member of the Public Rights Access team telling me that my request would be processed. Shortly afterwards, I was met with a letter from the Access Rights team restricting my access under provisions of Section 45.4E of the Data Protection Act in order to protect the rights and freedoms of others. This didn't make much sense to me, as the footage was compiled in a public place where privacy is not an expectation. So naturally, I drafted a letter challenging the Access team's refusal to grant me permission to get hold of this footage. And so eventually I got a reply on the 18th of November informing me that my letter had been passed on to the Public Access manager and that I was due a response on the 16th of December. Today is the 20th of December and we are still yet to receive any further correspondence from the Public Access team. It seems as though Hampshire Constabulary are making a concentrated effort to withhold any information from me to cover their tracks. This deceitfulness is not instilling any confidence from myself nor the public in Hampshire Constabulary. If anything, it is exposing their lack of transparency and openness in dealing with a blatant case of misconduct. So I'm simply following the letter of the law and using the tools and information given to me as via legislation.
The update makes the whole situation even more frustrating. When Coley tried to obtain body-worn footage through a subject access request, Hampshire Constabulary refused, relying on Section 45.4E of the Data Protection Act. That provision is intended to protect ongoing investigations and sensitive material, not shield officers from scrutiny. The footage was recorded in public and involved officers carrying out their duties. There appears to be no obvious reason to keep it hidden. It gives the impression that the force is protecting itself rather than protecting sensitive information. If the case reached court, the lawfulness of the detention and the use of terrorism powers would likely face close scrutiny. Courts do not look kindly on the misuse of police powers or attempts to withhold evidence. There have been no further updates from Coley because he is currently serving a sentence for an unrelated offence. That has nothing to do with this case. Still, it shows that accountability and justice do not always move at the same speed. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps me continue producing independent coverage. Also, be sure to check out Coley Burks. His channel is linked in the description, so show him some support. Thanks for watching. This is Rate the Audit, and I'll see you in the next one.